Always annoying when that happens. Luckily, I am not going to miss the first game. I'm still ahead of time. And it is logging in right now. PC is still a bit slow as I just started. Okay. It's loading. Just give me a second, please. Oh my gosh, it's awfully slow. Alright. Finally. Did it. Ahead of time before the games are starting. Alright, nice. The first game is going to be QQ versus APA, which is honestly going to be very good. That's definitely going to be interesting. Alright. Everything fixed. Let's reset the score real quick. Starting from scratch. Okay. Also, I do see that someone was watching the video earlier already. Glad to see that. In case you didn't know, I published a video today about some replay analysis where I do my best at explaining again what to do to win games. As it often is not all that obvious, and I, even on stream, don't get to dive into detail all that much. So if you really want to know what is going on in my mind while playing, then I recommend watching that video after the stream still. And we are just about to go for the first game. Let me make sure that everything's set up properly here. Yes. Good. Game number one will be QQ versus API, as mentioned already. API has been winning many seasons in the past. QQ is led by a former API team member, Days, who is now in charge of his own team, QQ. QQ has made it into the grand final twice under Days' lead. APA has been lacking in the last seasons a little bit. But obviously, API is always one of the strongest teams to compete here. And therefore, especially the match of Days versus former team members is going to be especially interesting. So let's get into it already. And we are starting on Hellas with a team of QQ playing double AMXM4, FE215B, Rhino Chironte, surprisingly. It's a rare choice in the current meta. A Super Conqueror ×2 and a 2100 light tank. APA going for a more standard meta lineup, AMXM4, but only one. FE215B, Hori, Kranwagen as well, Super Conquerors also twice, and also one 2100 LT. And this is looking like a rather passive strategy, as the Kranwagen and the Hori are not the greatest at pushing in. Can still be used for that, but they are rather the kind of tanks that are meant to hold caps like the B cap passively and support teammates that are baiting, etc. Although it is not exactly what I expected here. Kranwagen moving towards the seaside. Days already capping the base over there. He is having a very, very flat tank, So he cannot get decapped and is very fast to be there. So he is just taking the C base without taking any damage, not getting any spots in either. He might be a little bit stuck there. This is dangerous for Daze. This is really dangerous. There are many tanks waiting for Daze to run away. And so he is not really able to run away, but it is Svinograd taking a ton of damage. The Rhinoceronte here down to 414 hit points only. That was nasty. Bad mistake there to overpeak like that and allow the enemies to shoot him like that. That was really not that great. Kranwagen also took some shots in return. But API is about 700 hit points ahead right now. They are lacking the cap points. And also QQ can get into base A still. Daze made it out alive here. Did not get hammered as he was escaping the C cap. So that's pretty good for him. Svinograd also is still alive. Can put himself into the rear. And we are seeing QQ in safe positions. Maybe a little bit too spread out here. APA forming a push strategy here. They are moving over to the C side with their tanks. As QQ is stepping their foot into base A. I am not sure if they can get decapped. Yes, Daze is dropping out of the cap again. And it looks like API is going to go for the push here on the C side. They might also steal the C cap. So getting base A and potentially base B will be very important for QQ as they can impossibly hold the C base. The T100 LT and the Kranwagen sitting here, being very low where they cannot get shot. So double caps against none for the moment for APA. But Daze is taking the A base. And he might be able to steal base B as well. He definitely has to actually. Oh, nice shootout here of Uni. Armor rack as well. I have not seen for how many hit points exactly, but I don't think he was that low yet. So gun advantage, surprisingly, for QQ, despite them losing a lot of HP early on. This is pretty good for them. QQ still holding the C side without having any control over the cap. The Super Conqueror aggressing a little bit, but has to be careful as he is in a position that can get crossfired from the whole re. But he is seemingly aware of that, and he is pressuring the Kranwagen. The Kranwagen low on hit points, also on an empty clip, getting pushed onto by Tokonami from behind now. He did find a proper solution to just put in the HE from behind, gets in a nice shot there, took a big one from the whole read though, will take another one, also gets tracked in the open. That's not good for Tokonami, should have stayed down there where the whole read could not reach him. So Tokonami low on hit points might be taken out. Hori has another shot. Tokonami one shot now. Svinograd got taken out on the other side. But also another tank has been taken out here. No, actually two guns out on either side right now. Elmery about to go down in this corner. Cannot escape, of course. Daze putting in a shot here while crossing over Krim. Having a big HE into the T100. Krim definitely going to get deleted there. Daze has to make sure to not take too many shots anymore. Hori on the other side, not covering anymore. Turned around to kill Solitude on the next shot. Maybe it is Playmaker already. Orca also trying to support here, trying to take out Playmaker. Yes, he does get the kill. And that is suddenly APA still winning on caps actually. I did miss that they were able to take the bases. In the end, APA still won despite being 3 versus 4 already, lacking the hit points for sure, but just doing a better job at covering, stealing the bases. Very well done here by APA in the end, despite the armor rack and having a tank less, they did manage to make it work here. Rugorius saying hello from Lithuania. Sveiki. And everyone else, good evening to you. I hope you are having a good time and are able to enjoy the stream despite the quick interruption we've had earlier. By the way, we're still having some giveaways today again, of course. So I will just put them up very soon. Stay tuned for that. You might already join the Discord server because that's where the giveaways are going to be. Let's see if I can start Discord now. It was not working somehow. Oh. Let me see. Somehow Discord doesn't start right now. Despite me having restarted the PC. Okay, let's go. Quit it in Task Manager. Okay, that was needed. Now it is working. Good. Also, I have actually not shared the stream on Discord yet. But the next game is about to start. So I guess I should rather focus on that. Yep. Okay, I'll still do it. Let's go. Alright. Next game is starting with QQ versus API on Hellas again. Looks like API is playing a lot lighter than QQ, playing 1, 2, 3 E50Ms and a T100 LT. So they are able to take aggressive positions very early on and are taking the C cap as well with the T100 light tank, similar to what QQ did last game. And API is playing super aggressively here with Bobby Fischer, but he is losing hit points for that. And they can not really afford to lose that many hit points since APA is playing lighter lineup with less hit points from the start on. And APA seemingly wants to push forwards here, straight into the rear of QQ. And they are just moving on here. They have Artyom and Orca in focus fire. And Orca is getting pushed out. Also, oh, another ammo rack again. I've not seen for how many hit points, but Object 3 got ammo racked. And also, well, over here we're seeing Bobby Fischer and being alone now suddenly against 5 tanks here. It is QQ with 2 guns more on the field, but I don't think the ammo rack really mattered in this fight. Artyom got killed. Orca also low on hit points. APA on the back foot when it comes to hit points. About 2k hit points behind. As the hit points are melting away, the difference of 2k is going to matter more and more. QQ also potentially in better positions. It is not a huge difference though. And hit point gap is not really that big anymore actually. ASDF here getting pushed onto trying to get Orca out, does get Orca out, but also ASDF is going to die for that, as Svinograd will have to kill very soon. Uni also one shot. Looking good for the team of QQ as they are able to take out another 2 tanks here for losing 1. On the other side there is Tukunami, a one shot as well. And he is getting killed before another one of the APA side is taken out. 3 versus 2 right now. QQ having about twice the amount of hit points. The 2k making up 100% of the hit points now. And Krim is desperately trying to push forwards into Solitude. His only chance for winning this game is to maybe still do something and actually, I don't know. I think he was trying to get Daze still, but is not able to get a shot in there, of course. So he is trying to circle the IMX M4, but that, of course, is going to be chanceless against an IMX M4 and also Daze. Svinograd still alive over there, rolling into the fight right now. And that is Solitude picking up Krim in the end. And that is win number 1 for QQ. So the score, I have not adjusted that yet, but now it is a score of 1-1. And we can check Object 3. Penetrations received 7, so actually it was not a huge difference there that the ammo rack made. If I, maybe let me just quickly check on last game again. Let me see over there. Uni got ammo racked. 5 penetrations received, so there must have still been like 1k points or so. Not sure. Alright. Next game is going to be on a different map now. We're going to see Castilla. A map that is often played with very campy lineups. Sometimes, of course, there are creative pushing strategies. But Castilla is known also as Campstia, the map that is just being set in the background. And surprisingly, we use a very light lineup, but not a lot of light tanks, which is usually the choice here when playing a fast lineup. QQ going for a triple E50M, 200 light tank. Also APA went for this lineup earlier already. And then we see 2 AMXs and an FE215B on top. APA is going a lot more for a standard lineup of triple, quadruple AMX M4, 1-100 LT, also a Hori, and a bit more of a rare choice, the AMX 50B, still a solid tank. Not necessarily solid in terms of armor, but solid in terms of damage output. Also, it does have reactive armor that helps you survive a lot more. And we are going to be seeing the team of QQ on the north spawn, I reckon. Was it the north spawn or was it south spawn? I wonder what they are having in mind with their E50Ms here. If it's just, if they are used for camping, then the E50Ms are weird choices, if I'm honest. QQ on south spawn, so they are actually sending the E50Ms over to the heavy side. The heavies going over to the middle. Interesting. Is it a bait strategy? Are they going to hide and camp here? No. Yes, they are. They are hiding behind the rocks, waiting for the opponents to make a mistake. They're not going to show themselves yet. Question is if they are getting spotted, and it is the 200 LT actually spotting them. The bait is not working out. Was that maybe a mistake in the planning of the strategy? As this is a fairly common first spot there. Elmery and Krim in aggressive positions. Able to push back Solitude and Artyom because they are permanently spotted now. Due to the proximity here, proxy spot 50 meters. So that is 2 tanks being rendered useless there. APA therefore might be able to potentially even take base C. Or no, that's probably too risky anyways. They are making a play for the other side with Playmaker. Moving towards base A. I don't know if he's going to take the base or if he's just going to move up the hill for a stronger position. No, he is deciding to take the cap. And QQ is losing out on the hit points. There, E50Ms taking even more shots on the run here. Failed strategy, absolutely. The bait not working out at all. Getting spotted, taking a lot of shots. Putting themselves at a disadvantage from the start on. And it looks like Svinograd is still going to stay. The others are rotating over to base A. But that is well known by APA. They have seen that rotation. So the momentum, the surprise is not going to happen. But Tukunami actually being confident in moving up towards base A and potentially stealing it again. But ASDF on the other side is going to come in. Just a chill guy together with Tsukunami now taking the base. The question is if ASDF can reliably decap the base. I think it is very important here for QQ to take this cap, as it is probably quite tricky to push out anyone. Especially, we have to keep in mind that QQ is playing with a light lineup, has lost a lot of hit points. They are 13,000 hit points versus 16,452. So that's about 3.5k hit points behind. That is not good for them. On the other hand, this map, of course, is a map that is often being played for the... Oh, nice decapping shot here. For the bases. Pushes are tricky. Bobby Fischer not able to take the base. That could have been it. If Bobby Fischer was just taking the cap there, they were not losing the cap advantage. But even if he does succeed right now, it will still allow APA... Oh man, QQ really has to stop losing hit points. They are trading very poorly on this game. Base C has still not been taken. But even if they take it right now, they might be able to just go for a couple of kills and turn around the game in their favor. Or even take base B, which will be hard to defend for QQ, with only Artyom having shots into that. And Artyom can absolutely not defend the B cap reliably. Here, Solitude in a bad position in the river. Orca also not in the greatest spot. Pushed down here, no high ground. Playmaker on the outside of the hill, being covered by his teammates from the other side. It is impossible to push Playmaker despite him being completely alone. And he is covering the entire center of the map. And now it is APA going for the B cap. Artyom might try to put in a decapping shot, but is going to get punished badly for that. Triple shot into Artyom for putting in one single shot into into Uni, actually, not even ASDF, so he was not defending the cap at all. This is not looking good for QQ. Double caps against one, and they are at a massive disadvantage on the hit points. About 5k HP less. APA playing very aggressively, having strong tanks in their hands, and are having very strong positions. Everyone is covering each other. Playmaker taking a big hit there, but that's not going to matter because Playmaker can simply fall back into cover. Cannot get pushed there. Svinogard losing hit points. And also base A is getting capped again by APA. So they are going to be in control of 3 caps with an advantage of 5k hit points. This game is really not the kind of game that QQ would like to see here. 1 minute left on the clock. And if we are looking at Object 3 in the hallway with a very strong tank, he can just cover the entire map here. Does not connect the shot onto just a chill guy there. Bad RNG for him, I guess. And APA is daring to get more aggressive even. No, actually they are not really getting more aggressive, but they have bled down QQ so much. The hit point gap is 6k at this point. And 3 caps against none. Still, surprisingly, almost everyone alive. Just a chill guy still got taken out. And then we got 1k points now. 7k hit points difference, 3-1-0 caps here. This is not a good game for QQ, and there was really not much that they could do after the start, simply because they gambled so much with a strategy on something that was not working out there. And I really have to wonder if that strategy was tested enough. If that could not have been predicted, that it was possible to spot the bait there. And that means 2-1 for APA right now. Couple of tanks on QQ side dealing close to no damage at all. And we are going to see Castilla rematch again. Now it is QQ on the slightly better spawn. That is not always too relevant though. QQ again going for a lot of mediums. FE42 as well as 3 E50Ms. So 4 mediums in total. Triple AMX M4. APA again playing a much safer lineup of double Super Conqueror, triple AMX-M4, Hori at 2100 LT. So APA from the start on is going to have a hit point lead once more. And QQ will have to do better on the trades, which was also the thing that they had to do last game, but they were not doing it. That was not good for them, honestly. I mean, if you're playing a faster lineup that is meant to put out damage and cannot absorb a lot of damage, then you need to really get the guns to fight and bleed the enemies down. Let's check out whether they can make the medium lineup work this game. Hopes aren't too high after the performance on last one. But, of course, the start has been horrible. So, let's give it to them. Maybe they are just having something much better in mind on this battle. Dae's going to climb the hill. Everyone else heading towards base C. So QQ is going to meet APA over there. And they keep moving. None of the shots actually connecting. Oh, Tokunami. Down 1k hit points. 700 hit points left only. That's a 2-shot already. Right at the start. Thanks to the T100 having spotted over here. Hori giving back up. AMX-M4 behind as well. Amazing shootout by APA. QQ's strategy again not working out. They have taken aggressive positions with the E50Ms, but they keep losing hit points here. Tokunami can escape though. So from the start on, basically 2000 hit points in advance for APA. But QQ is not as stuck as on last battle, and they have a lot of options to go for again. Yeah, both teams meeting each other on the C side. Just that APA had a bit of an advantage for the shootout there, as QQ did go in more aggressively, and APA had the tanks available and had their guns lined up for exactly this move. Artyom might be sneaking into the A-cap, but there is Bobby Fischer above there. Artyom not having any shots there, not daring to peek around the corner, not entirely sure what there is behind, although we do know, as we are seeing this from above, that there is none, not a single tank. Artyom, of course, does not have that information available in his hands. Playmaker crossing over to an aggressive position, but bleeding a lot of hit points for that. Lost about half the HP that he had. This is bringing QQ a lot closer to the HP of APA again. And let's not forget, it is QQ that still has a great mobility advantage, but they really have to make sure to keep their HP and then use the hit points wisely for some good pushes. And they are bleeding again. They are bleeding more and more. Orca taking a lot of damage for absolutely nothing here. No caps have been taken. And I want to remind you that if the game is not about caps, then it is about damage dealt. But we are seeing a cap right now. I mean, if there are no kills that increase or decrease the caps, if there are no bases, then it would be about just the damage dealt, which would have favored API. In some very long campy games on this map, we are seeing this being the only thing that matters. And it is FV42 on top of the hill, getting shot down there. Dae's losing a lot of hit points, and API is going forwards, having just a chill guy in Svinograd in focus fire. Svinograd has to be very careful, as the Hori is still in the background. They are trying to aim for him. The Hori, it is Object 3 who is aiming his shots straight towards Svinograd. Svinograd being a one-shot already. Just a chill, guys. Still getting to farm quite a bit. API losing a lot of hit points on this push, but they are getting a kill there. First gun out on side of QQ. Also, they are about to lose a second one. Just a chill guy down to one shot. Getting taken out there. And the hit point gap increased again, although QQ almost brought it back there. And QQ is trying to push forward now with 2 guns less on the field. They are not doing all too great here. It is not absolutely over for them yet. 3k hit points less than APA, but a lot of low hit point tanks on side of APA as well. But I guess that Playmaker, for example, and the other one-shots will be able to hide still. Artyom cannot hide anymore. He cannot fall back. Solitude in the middle now, about to be taken out by Object 3 as well. And there he goes. 2 versus 7. Who would have thought Tukunami and Orca being the last one standing. Tukunami getting taken out as well as Orca, who is also, of course, a one-shot. And there we go, 7-0. That is APA's 3rd win. And that brings us to the match point for APA. So QQ would have to win 3 games in a row now. Not a good position to be in. Again, a bad start for QQ. Committing too hard to one side, while API was going for a shootout strategy. Actually, the perfect counter strat to what QQ did here, as if they knew. And we are switching maps now. Switching maps to Mayan Ruins with APA already readying up here with a quadruple AMX-M4, double FE215B and an E50M lineup. Mayan Ruins is often a bit of a gamble, actually, I would say. Yeah, it still matters a lot on a scale, but here, if you can take aggressive positions early on that perfectly counter the opponent, then it might be decided very quickly. QQ will have to make sure to not run into the open arms of APA in the same way again. They are applying a very similar lineup to what APA has for the moment. They switching from FE42 to FE215B still. So full heavy for QQ. They are going to have more hit points, less mobility, but just by a small margin. As the FE215B is almost as fast as an E50M and also having HE power. So, 2 very similar lineups here. Can QQ come back? Do they have a chance? So far, it did not look like they were doing the best job there. We might discuss on about whether this was unlucky, but this was definitely a deserved win for APA. And we can head up here. API going for the C cap, having the mobility advantage, allowing them to take base C for free. They are trying to spot first. Bobby Fischer spotting beneath the bridge. A spot that I cannot recommend in random games, by the way. In tournaments, though, it does work out greatly. And Bobby is free to take base C. Cap lead to APA, therefore. This might change if QQ is playing for the B cap as well, as they can still take base A. Yes, they are taking the AB cap. Artyom trying to cover to the side here. The question is if Object 3 can put in shots there. No, Artyom taking base B for free. This is crucial because also QQ is allowed to take base A there. No one is covering that. They spot it. Krim was ready to take in, or to put in a shot there. Was not succeeding. Some damage being traded. Better trades for APA for sure. But still it is... No, it is actually APA with a hit point lead right now. As QQ lost more hit points. And QQ is under pressure in the middle here. They are having some tanks pretty isolated, especially Artyom. Has to be afraid for his life. Well, Object 3 maybe getting a touch too aggressive there. Has isolated himself, is being perma-tracked. Down to a 2-shot already. Object 3 overcommitting for sure. Artyom puts in another shot there. Object 3 1-shot. But just a chill guy has been taken out on the other side. Solitude getting the kill on Object 3. 1 tank out on either side. APA still having good crossfire here on those guys in the middle, but also QQ is not sleeping. 1k hit points more on the field for APA. Svinograd getting taken out. Gun advantage to APA. Krim, though, in a 1v1 against Tukunami, will not survive this. Krim is trying to put a shot into Artyom, but Tukunami is blocking him from doing that. Still, Artyom might go down there. Tukunami giving up to shield. Should not have done this. 3 versus 5 right now. Hit point difference of 3k. QQ chanceless here. Still trying to fight for their life in the very end. Tukunami still full life, but Solitude is able to fall back. Solitude able to fall back there, but Uni and ASDF are not going to overcommit here without the other ones being there to support. And there they are. There is Bobby Fischer now with the E50M coming in for the ram. Going for 1k damage. And that's actually Tukunami being deleted in just a second. Very quick kill. This only leaves us with the solo Solitude in the very end, who is still trying to back off. But he is, of course, not having anything to face the 5 tanks of APA, or 4 tanks of APA. There he goes, that is APA getting another point. So, that means QQ still losing every single game. Just remember that yesterday they played 2 battles and did not win a single one. So they did not get any points yet. Yeah, it gets to be very tricky to still make it into the top 4, as they were having such a rough start. And we cannot expect the other strong teams to mess up that much. Of course, APA is one of the strongest here in this tournament and just played super well. Alright. I don't know what the next game is going to be just yet. Let me check that out. All right. Give me a moment, please. So today I'm following APA versus QQ and APA versus Immo. All right. Those games are likely to be starting in half an hour or 25 minutes. So I can play a couple of random games. But I'm also still going to start some giveaways. Let me just double check the time. One second, please. Yes, next game starting in 28 minutes. So in 25 minutes I will get to show you the room again. So in the meantime, we will go for some giveaways. And let me just create that one. Alright. Guys, as always, I'm doing the giveaways on Discord. So if you're not on Discord yet, make sure to join in. to the server. There is a link in the chat, of course, as well. You will get a chance for winning one of 3 battle passes, and you will have the chance for winning 4 fan containers. Let's go for 2 battle passes immediately. And 15 minutes, and I can... 20 minutes? Let's go for 20 minutes. Then I can create another giveaway right before the games are starting. Battle Pass. Also, please make sure to use your in-game name as a server nickname. And be aware that there are no compensations if you already won a Battle Pass. Good. What am I going to play? E50M. Yep, that's fine. Right. Let me just take a quick glance at the chat there. Of course, I'm not having much time for that today. Hey everyone. Just reading your messages there. And obviously I'm not able to really reply to everyone because of the delay that we're having today. As usual on tournament streams. But, yeah. Hi everyone. And don't forget to hit the like button if you actually do enjoy the stream. And maybe also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Lots of content being put out. Mostly streams, also some videos about analysis of games or some tactical guides. Apart from that, I think that's it. Oh, enemies are here with the mediums as well. That's surprising. We can maybe still go for the E5 to the side there. Would be the best if we could push the flank. I think we can isolate him. Yes. Go. Nice. He's out. E50M's coming. I need to make sure that I don't get HE'd here. That would hurt. Maybe I'll just ignore the... Yeah, I'll just ignore this PZ maybe? Okay, that's impossible. That's also useless to peek there. How about... Oh no! Why do you ram me? Why is this guy actually just going down? This is problematic. How about pushing forwards here? Okay. I think that works. In the best case, we do focus the E50Ms. They are having a high damage output. Good. And I actually need to care of the caps as well. Let's do that. Let's go for B. Maybe it also allows me to go for Reno. Okay, maybe I should have just saved a shot here. Nice. Oh, they're still capping. Wow. I'm dead. Well, in the best case, I still get some points here for the kills. Suddenly the whole team dead. As usual. Can I lower the music? Oh yes, I can, of course. Usually I have my fixed volume set up there. But I recently updated my software or reinstalled it, and then now it's just a little bit all over the place. I have to do it manually each time. Okay. Molenbeek. Anything relevant to take care of here? Not really. Same amount of mediums on either side. A lot of heavy tanks. Still they have one TD, which could be camping. I mean, I can expect him to camp there. You know, I could just play heavy side. Oh no, it's ratings and people are like just all going mid side as always. I mean, not as always, but like the majority of players above 50% just do this, not for a good reason. I think it would have potentially been easier to just play a heavy side here. Because enemies have a strong TD. What? He's YOLOing. Alright. Take that, I guess. Alex Nevsky. Oh, wow, okay. TD camping in their spawn. Which is a bit unexpected. I thought he was going to be over there, but if the TD is in the back there, then I guess I can just go in here. Let's go. One K damage in 2 shots, and he cannot penetrate apparently. Oh, okay. GG. If I angle like this, I can kind of make sure he doesn't pen me. Alright, we do have 2 guns more on the field right now. V4 is kind of alone, but I'm not really feeling confident in facing him frontally, despite me playing calibrated shells. So let's see if I can sneak around to his back. But FE215 is also coming. Okay, then I'll take some more distance. I guess that's great. Nah. He's dead, perfect. Okay. I'm not needed over there, then I can just go for E5, and after that B's at 75, he's actually going for me. Seems like he has a big gun, so I'm a one-shot anyways. Oh no. Okay. Alright, let me go for another tank. Maybe. RHM, yes. T22. I've not played that in a while. Also curious. Just suggested playing it.
Octaotlic became a member.
Holy moly!
Lucky 888 became a member.
Holy moly!
Alex Chu became a member.
Holy moly!
Scar became a member.
Holy
Darkman.
moly!
Silent 7 stars became a member.
Darkman, thanks a lot for the gifted memberships again. Once more. Oh. Alright. Two mats on either side. Enemies have a TD more, so they're going to be a bit more passive than our team. Which is actually good for us, I guess. We will see. We'll see. 183 and FE405 on their lineup, so yeah, I could not really expect them to be more aggressive. But if they are here on B, then I am going to suffer potentially. You know what, they shot a couple of times. I'll just run away, even if it costs me some hit points here. Double tap. Far from perfect. That's why I usually don't even play the B cap, especially if you're playing a tank like the BZ75, and then you should not go there on your own. With a light tank, this works out a little bit better to run away still. Oh, bro. Okay, that's... Oh my gosh. What? Where was that coming from? Was it Reno on the one? What? Yeah. Man, I usually don't even go for B anymore because I know it's super risky. For once I do it again, and it backfires immediately. I love it. Next. Not great here. Just again, 1 minute into the game, we were down 3-4 tanks. Or 3 tanks. I also lost a lot of hit points, but even if I had hit points, honestly, I would not have been able to win this at all. Not with 3 tanks less already. And my teammates still trying to push forwards into the enemy spawn, where there was actually just the FE405 camping so far behind that we could impossibly get him. And then, yeah, we would have to go back and enemies had better positions there. Or take bases and chill, but without enemies doing major mistakes, it was impossible to win. Hukori is asking E50M on T22. Both of the tanks are far ahead at the moment, are among the best, but the E50M is just a touch better because of having gun depression, having higher alpha damage as well, having reactive armor, and having more armor if you're face-hugging enemies. You can be really nasty at face-hugging. That the T22 cannot do. T22 is a little bit better at playing passively. You know what I might do. Dump move. But I know it's going to work out here. Do I not? It's going to work out. Oh no! Yeah, it's not going to work out. Because my other medium decided to run away. Wow! Why would you do this? Just... Oh man. Seriously. We are 3 versus 3, can kill someone immediately. Of course, it was a bold move, to be honest, to just go in there. But we could see already, as we were doing this, we could see there was no heavy coming. We would have spotted that. And this guy just chickens away there. Just expects to lose this because, I don't know. He was probably thinking like, okay, those guys are YOLOing, they are probably bad players. Maybe my teammate was a bad player because he was just not really being careful about this move. But honestly, we would have won this as enemies and lost a lot of hit points. Sheridan was completely useless. And now he's going to do what here? He gave up the fight on the other side. Oh my gosh. You got to love it if people are just deciding to use their brain for something that is the opposite of what they have to do. If they just did not think about it and just played in the position they had been in, they were actually doing better, and you're like, oh my gosh, why are you even trying to think? Stop it. Okay. Let's chill. I could play one more game. T22 cheating armor from behind. Yes, kind of. T22 really being strong on the armor, especially in reverse side scrape. Then it can also play quite aggressively, but of course it cannot push while playing reverse side scrape. So that is highly problematic, honestly. So you can hold very well, you can use a turret, you can reverse side scrape in cities even, which is very unique about medium tanks. Others cannot do that. But if you are forced to get more aggressive, you still have very strong turret and you have bouncy armor, but you are not as reliable as an E50M, I would say. Like, the only problem with an E50M is if you have enemies in your back or to the sides. Like it has happened in the last game. I was still trying to turn around and have some enemy to the front again. But, yeah. Yep. When servers are going to merge? Maratha is asking. I think there's some misconception in there. The servers are not, like, actually merging. Alright. No way. What's that? Bad shit? But what else? Shot the teammate then. Okay. 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 We don't know when they are merging, honestly. And we don't know when, but it only means there is a unified login. And you can play on every server with your account. It's not like there was only one server afterwards. Just that you have the chance of playing. It's actually, currently we don't have 3 servers, although Wargaming calls it servers, but we have like 10 servers or so. I don't know the exact number there. Like each sub-region, like let's say Western Europe has a server, Eastern Europe has a server, Arab countries have a server, Africa probably not, I don't think so, Japan has a server, and stuff like that. But we're having 3 regions right now, and you can only log in on one region with your account, of course, as you all know. With the changes to the servers there, it will then be possible to use one account to play on every single server. So every single connection point, like I could connect to Hong Kong, or probably not Hong Kong, but Peking. And that would therefore be nice, as I could then play with someone in Platoon who is playing on Japanese server, or someone who is playing on American server or so, and I could be on my main account. The only problem there is then, of course, I'm having ping, but you will have some display that is showing you what your ping is going to be on each server, so on each location. It's a bit confusing because servers are used right now as a term for regions, but the actual servers are more like Yes, like right now there's Amsterdam, I believe, for where I play. Although I live in Germany. Frankfurt might also be the case. So... Okay, teammates are coming. Actually, I don't have that much time. The next game is starting in 8 minutes. So let's hope that this game is not lasting more than 5. But if I play like last game, then... easy. Alright. Why is he still there? Maybe he has just went quite late. Oh, nice. I might actually steal a B cap. There is something on C still, I guess. But let's take the cap to not lose on the points. Nice one. Okay, Gorilla is actually... Gorilla is dead. WZ is over there as well. Okay, that's not great. And there's another one. Okay, then we should definitely push in over here. Oh, he is actually where I prefer PC right now over the iPad, because I could just shoot through these kind of rails without any big issue. Nah. Let's focus the light. Is he AFK? I think he did go AFK, alright. Rakes up right now, sure. But I intend to go for the next one already. Maybe you can find him. No? No, he's face hugging. Come on, go back, man. I want to have some shots. Sure, come on. Come back. Come back, allow me to shoot you. Oh, okay, let's go for the other one. Can someone share a bonus code? Ask Santa. I don't know. I don't have a bonus code for you. If you ask kindly, maybe. But it's not coming from me. Let's go. Nice. That game definitely was better. So, next battle is starting in 3 minutes. Alright. We got Nico over here as well. Not playing tournaments at the moment. Alright. What's that? I don't like that. I don't like it at all. This is awful. Okay, I'm not the intended audience for that, but let me just ready up on the tournament room first of all. APA versus Immo next. Oh, and before I forget, we still had some giveaway to go for. We actually still have 2 more giveaways for today. I will create one giveaway right now and one after the games are finishing. So we still have 1 battle pass and 4 fan containers. So again, giveaway taking place on the Discord server. If you want to participate, please join in over there. If you are checking Discord, on the info section, there is the giveaways channel right there, and you can just press enter here, this button, and then will do fine. Then you are participating. All right. APA versus Immo, starting in just 1 minute 30. Double E50M, T95 E6, FE215B on side of APA, also some AMX-M4s, of course, as it is default at the moment. So rather fast lineup here on Lagoon. No light tanks though. A6 is a nice choice that is not too common anymore. Immo, on the other hand, playing double Chieftain, FE215B, and quadruple AMX M4. So Immo is playing some hash power and more hit points, but they're lacking some mobility compared to APA. And also, they are just not having as many tanks with reactive armor, or actually just 1 less. "30 seconds until the game is starting. And of course on Lagoon, we often do see some games played for the B area, where there are multiple tanks trying to defend. I mean, I guess we are seeing some IMXs there. And the others, it looks more like a medium-sided strategy here for both teams, to be honest. But of course, especially the E50Ms can be taken to any side. That is often the momentum of surprise there that is being used with the E50s. Also, they have the mobility to take aggressive positions, even on the heavy sides, very quickly. Recrory is saying light tanks are not for damage? Disagree. Light tanks are great for damage. Just not for taking shots. But let's focus on the gameplay here. Both teams heading towards A. A lot of tanks on APA side in the B area is predicted, but Immo is not going for this. So I was not all too correct about it. And they are not even going for the B cap right now. They are playing aggressively. In the middle here. Bobby Fischer and Uni holding very passively on the A side. Base B is being taken by Playmaker right now. On the AMX there, completely uncontested. And API is aggressive here with Krim and ESDF, who are also covered from behind. Or were covered from behind. It's not that anymore. It's not about that. Immo is pushing in aggressively here with everyone. They are trying to dig out Bobby Fischer, who might have been a touch too isolated. He still does have some backup, but Immo can potentially hide from those tanks cross-firing and supporting there. Bobby is out. Gun advantage for Immo. Full YOLO push onto one side, and they are proceeding. Immo 1k hit points ahead already. No, actually the hit points are about even right now. And they are up a tank, but they are also having some low HP tanks on their side. And API potentially coming back here, as they might get rhymes like dimes on Immo's side, who is down to 1 shot now and gets taken out. Their guns even again. Hit points still even. Playmaker and Uni having some focus on Bjorn and also the AMX there, who is just got taken out. Gun advantage to API for the moment. As Krim got taken out. Guns even again. Over here, Immo is about to take out ASDF, who is not able to take out. Well, that's what she said in return. Guns still slightly ahead in favor of Immo. Hit points neck and neck. Can still go anywhere, but now it is suddenly 3 versus 5. Although there are 2 one-shots on side of Immo. This is not for granted that API is losing this. Especially since API has more hit points. 2 versus 3 suddenly. Both tanks on API side very healthy. But Playmaker in a 1v2 here. In close combat won't stand a chance there. Elmarie on the other side going for the Chieftain. And Elmarie will get that kill, still takes 1. And also Elmarie is ammo wrecked now. So he is going to have some really long reload time. Which doesn't particularly help with a 1v2 situation that can be expected. In just a moment, Playmaker might still have a last shot potentially. Nope. Should probably not have turned that turret there. Elmarie still puts out another one, still has that ammo rack damaged. Oleg Babenko is down to a 3-shot for the E50M. Komorium is a 1-shot. So actually, I think Elmarie might have this, as he still has the cap points and still has the only base on the field right now. Immo has to go for the cap. The question is if Elmarie can actually cover the base or if he can take some other caps. If he can bleed down the enemies as they are moving into the middle. Oleg able to drop into the B cap unharmed. Can steal bases. Elmarie is about to maybe take base A. Komorium still alone there, afraid to move. Oh, Elmarie finds the rear of Oleg. Good shot in there. And he brings the hit points very close. Oh man. Nope. Just imagine the heart rate of Elmarie right now. This is close. But he does have a solid chance. Excuse me. Oh, Elmarie finding Komorium. Has to penetrate here. Takes a big one in return. Does penetrate, but it is a low roll. He's not able to kill him yet. He definitely has to aim in now. If he does not penetrate, he doesn't penetrate. And this will get him killed. I guess. Nope. Yes, it does. That's still a win to Immo, as they were still pinching from 2 different angles here. Well done. In the end, of course, it was a bit of a gamble that Elmarie went for, but not the greatest chances for him in this kind of situation, as he was. If he was taking base A, the enemies would have still been able to take base C, so he needed to play for the kills, actually. So first win to the team of Immo. A very close game here. Could have as well been a win to IPA, honestly. Okay, 1-0. And of course we are seeing the rematch on the same map, with APA playing quadruple M4, same as Immo by the way. APA playing an E50M versus 2 on Immo's side, and double FE2 on 5B here on side of APA still. While Immo only has a Chieftain then, so Immo with a faster lineup then. But also the FE2 on 5Bs do have these special speed boosts, making them very quick. So I cannot really say that the T95E6 convinced me for holding in that spot there on last game of APA. I don't know if it was probably able to just relocate quite a lot. Not sure if that actually played a role there. I mean, it's not a meta tank, honestly. Really not. But it is a great tank, of course. Next game is starting. Again, Lagoon, of course, we might see something similar to what API did again. I mean, not as aggressive, but it is often the case that people play for the B area. Couple of tanks go in over there. API again sending the majority of tanks towards B. This time Immo also sending over 3 tanks towards B. No, 2 tanks, sorry. Which is pretty much standard here, that at least 2 or 3 are there to defend. Good shot into ASDF here on the move. Of course, quite lucky, but also Komorium took 1 in return. Base C can get taken by Immo. On the other side, there is API getting more aggressive on the A side. Still not having the cap yet, but Bobby Fischer is going to go for it. APA in good positions to cover the B area. They're taking base B over here on the left side, while making sure with those tanks that no one is shooting into base B, so that they have that crossfire from 2 different angles. But ASDF, of course, still in a tricky situation there. Good trades to APA here. Although they also lost some hit points, but I've got to say that they are slightly ahead. But API got themselves stuck a little bit. Immo has some crossfire. Those AMXs here can neither push forwards nor go backwards. ASDF can get pushed onto from various different directions. And that's exactly what's happening here. With Oleg getting more aggressive and also Komorium getting more aggressive. But API is not sleeping. They are coming back here to secure that teammate Uni going in first. Also, there's Object 3 and Krim moving in here to face Oleg, who is also in focus fire by Bobby Fischer. So that's 4 tanks, 5 tanks shooting 1. Oleg has overcommitted, was stuck there. But it is ASDF going down first on API side. So gun advantage to Immo, but that will not last long with Oleg going down. Komorium also has been taken out. 2 guns out on side of Immo. So gun advantage for API, but also there is Elmery low on HP, getting bullied by 2 tanks from 2 different angles. Bobby Fischer still trying to support as best as good as he can, but it's not good enough here. He's still having one or the other shot, but that won't really save his teammate. API ahead on the HP though. Guns ahead on API side as well, but Playmaker also about to be taken out here. Reaction will have that kill shot. There we go. Guns even again. Hit points still by a good margin in favor of Immo, of API. The thing is that also API does have the caps. Double caps against 1. Bobby Fischer here alone against 2 heavy tanks. Does have some backup in the rear though, so 2v2. But Uni is coming in now. Being confident in taking the damage here. As he can focus the E50M, but Uni maybe a bit overconfident. Gets taken out quickly. Object 3 now rolling in for the kill. Flex Assist gets the kill shot. But Object 3 is low as well. Cannot escape there anymore. Reaction getting tagged still. Gets taken out. So does Object. So 2 versus 2. Krim and Bobby Fischer trying to focus the Chieftain. Chieftain takes the big HE to the front, and Bjorn, and also that's what she said, focusing Bobby. The E50M gets taken out, so suddenly it boils down to a 1v1 of the E50M versus FE200B. Hit points in favor of the FV. Armor in favor of the E50M. The question is if the E50M is going to have reactive armor available soon again. That might still make a difference, but also he does bounce off there. That is not good for the E50M. Now he is also down to a one-shot, tracked, and the driver is dead, so he cannot move much anymore. But Krim does fail this connection here in the end. That's what she said. Still penetrating. Has to get a ricochet here, but he doesn't. And that is APA winning game number 2. One-to-one with this win. Yep. 1-1 now. Krim farming hard here with 5.4k damage in the end. A great result for him. Although, of course, in tournaments, the damage matters less than in random games, since you're trying to play together with your teammates and everyone does their part. Even the ones dying first might have a good reason for that. It might play a crucial role in winning the game, if they are baiting the enemies into bad positions, for example. APA playing a lighter lineup this time with 4 of the E50Ms, double AMXM4 only, and an FE215B, so also another fast heavy tank there that is just going to make this lineup very, very quick. Immo, on the other hand, also playing relatively light with triple E50M and an FE215B as well, but they are going for 1 more of the AMXs, so they are having more hit points, but they are having the lack of mobility. So if both teams were to play for the medium side, for the A corner, they would just be at a disadvantage on Immo's side here, as they were lacking that touch of mobility on the 4th tank, because they're having only 3 mediums. This for small side, the comp meta is use every tank with reactive. Basically, yes. Has been like that for a couple of years now. Reactive armor just being so strong in tournaments. In my opinion, it's actually the most boring special consumables out there. It doesn't add any fun to reduce the damage taken. Of course, it increases your survivability, and you are able to just hold on for a while, for a bit longer. But honestly, it's not a lot of fun. Playmaker playing very aggressively here, but taking a lot of damage. But Immo also starts losing HP. Playmaker still losing more hit points there in the middle. Bad trades for APA. Playmaker attempting to run away, gets tagged again. Is down to a one-shot already. The AMX is doing a great job at crossfiring. Another HE into Playmaker. But APA is trying to take some pressure off of their teammate and pushing forwards here with the AMXs. Going in for the kill. They are gun ahead already. Playmaker, of course, being down to one shot, is out of the fight as well. Hit point leads to Immo. And APA may be overcommitting on their push. Doesn't look that great, but their focus far is not on point yet. Playmaker has just been taken out. The guns even again. Komorium not able to take out Elmery. But Elmery one shot. Bobby Fischer one shot. And there come Bjornskog and also Flexorcist, who are not quite able to take out Bobby yet. But there we go. 3 versus 6 suddenly. Immo in a good situation. They're still losing another tank. 2 tanks actually. But APA only having 3 tanks left, with Krim being a one-shot in an aggressive position. That is not working out for them here. Uni also down to one-shot by now. Object 3 desperately trying to push in to support. But that's also not going to matter anymore. Also, he does not penetrate that last shot here. And is now the last one standing against 4 tanks on Immo's side. Still, he does get tracked as well. Object attempting to fall back and still puts out a nice shot into reaction. But does get taken out as well. Immo winning one game. So they are at the score of 2-1. Darkman's saying it, at least exciting games. Yes, indeed. Those games here are close and very interesting, tactically speaking as well. Lots of moves going on. Lots of opportunities, missed opportunities, taken opportunities mostly. I mean, it's nice if we can talk about the taken opportunities and not only about misplays. Good relocations here on both sides. Although APA is far ahead on the points in this tournament in total compared to Immo. I don't know if Immo actually got any wins yet. I don't think so. I've not seen today's results of Immo though. Maybe let me just check that real quick. Tournament history. Alright, Immo won 4-0 against RDX. Interesting, because RDX yesterday won against QQ. And also they won 4-0, right? Yes. Demon won not everything yet. They had close games against APA. Actually, I would like to see them still. Is it possible to see the score or the teams here? Nah. I think the game is starting. Yep. Winter Malinovka again. APA playing quite a bit heavier here. No, not APA, it is Immo playing quite a bit heavier again. If we check the hit points at the top, 16.3k versus 17.8k, big difference there. That's due to APA playing triple E50Ms again. Oh, blind shot into Crim. Nice one. The APA again playing for the medium side aggressively. This time they are doing better at the triads here. Rhymes like dimes is triple tag. Again taking another shot here is not safe at all. And is getting pushed onto potentially by Elmery already. But also Oleg is pushing in here. Playmaker again, the one in focus fire, same as last game. I don't think Playmaker is going to enjoy this as there are 3 tanks coming for him and he has no way of escaping there. Komorian putting out a big shot into his back here. Playmaker down to 1 shot. Will be taken out on the very next shot, most likely. Oleg getting the kill shot in there, but at the same time the E50M has gotten killed here. That's what she said suddenly in a 1v1, a 1v2 situation here. Should probably not have tried to support as aggressively here as he is chances against the E50Ms. Gun advantage to APA. Hit points also in favor of APA. Immo completely threw away their hit point advantage. Suddenly 6.6k to, or 9.6k to 6k hit points. Immo far behind suddenly. Did not make good use of their HP by pushing in too aggressively here. Got bled down on their move towards Playmaker. Suddenly 3 versus 6. Bjornskog definitely going to go down. Reaction on the other side. Still trying to 1v1 Uni, but also the Chieftain with a hash as premium ammunition is struggling to penetrate an AMX. Yes, he does not get the shot in. On the other hand, there is still Flexorcist, who's also taken out. Strong game by APA. 6 tanks still alive. that was, yeah, I was just mentioning the close games and not a lot of misplays, but on this game I felt like Immo was just overconfident as hell. Was just YOLOing in where they could not have. Was not really reading the situation and evaluating properly where they had an advantage to move in safely. Probably they just thought from the start on that they were going to have so many more hit points that they were not about to struggle with pushing into the enemies. But they were wrong. They can be said. So that brings us to a 2-2 in the best of 7. So each team still in need of 2 more wins. That's quite interesting. So far we've not seen any games, on my streams at least, that were as close. I mean, just point-wise. Mostly one team has been lacking far behind the other. Not necessarily in terms of skill, but just tactics not working out. And some misplays, of course, as well. And I want to actually just take a moment to point out that not always the result of a best of 7 means so much about the skill, because people can just do wrong moves. And of course, there are lucky situations where one team has a perfect counter strat to what the enemy is doing. It is not always just skill-based, and you would have to play a lot of games against another to find out which teams actually is really the better one. That's why we have a long tournament in the end. But nonetheless, it matters here to perform and get the points in. If a team is not showing the consistency to win most of the games, then, yeah, they are not making it to the next stage. And the next stage is always the goal, of course. And we are on Desert Sands. A lot of E50Ms here on the side of APA. 15,000 hit points, actually both teams. 15,000 hit points on either side only. That's the lowest we've seen all day, all tournament actually. Good start for Immo. Nice shootout here, as APA is just playing a bit more aggressively. Immo going in. ASTF left in a 1v1. He was supposed to hold up the tanks of Immo, but Komorium wisely going forwards and supporting the teammates here. Big HE shot into the back of Uni, but Uni and Playmaker just don't care. They are just pushing forwards towards the medium side here. They want to focus the fast tanks first. That's the perfect thing to do. Both teams lost one tank. Very aggressive brawl situation. Gun advantage to Immo right now. Hit point lead to Immo as well. But is the team of API able to come back from this, as they are having more tanks in the fight here? Are they able to actually focus fire better than Immo? That's the question. The T22 in focus here. Object 3 putting out a shot. 3 versus 6 already. 3 versus 5. Not over yet, but it seems to be close to be over. Object 3 in a 1v1 against the T22 will get the kill shot. If he does not bounce off, and he does get the kill shot in, but it's suddenly only 2 versus 4. Super damn fast game. Object 3, last one standing, will be taken out in just a second. And that is just 1 minute 42 seconds here. What a quick game. I really want to emphasize here how Immo decided to ignore the AMX in the city. Also, of course, the API team, they had 3 tanks in the city versus 2 tanks in the city. You know, that's where the skill really showed, because the most obvious thing would have been to just push forwards, right? To just kill 2 tanks with 3 tanks. But that would have meant to kill the slowest tanks on the game, while having a disadvantage where it comes to the faster tanks. So API decided to just completely ignore those tanks in the city, leave 1 heavy tank there to hold them up if possible, and send in their T95 E6s over towards the medium side to the main fight. If they manage to do that properly, and if Immo was not pushing in as aggressively, APA might have won the game just with this move, might have been able to take out the medium side, while the enemies were still busy in the city, killing the AMX M4 that is a lot harder to kill, that takes a lot more time to kill. So very clever call by API to do this move with the T95 E6s, to split up the forces there in this situation. Very quick thinking involved as well. At the same time, Immo was also showing their high level there by simply not going for the AMX, despite having the gun advantage of 2v versus 1 then. But they just did not care. They left it to the 1v1 and just sent in one AMX to support the medium side as well, to not be at a disadvantage there. Very smart gameplay on both sides here. Just that Immo had a bit of a time advantage setup-wise, because they had more tanks, or they just had, strategy-wise, a time advantage, as they had more tanks committed towards the medium side at the start, and they did not allow the enemies to change that. So Immo now on 3 points. That's a match point for Immo. 3-2. Immo only needs one more win to win against such a strong team. APA, well known as one of the best on the EU server. I think they are 4 times winner of the grand tournaments. And API is now applying for the city with everything. Not touching any caps. Meanwhile, Immo is in control of base A already. Immo does have the better side, actually. APA was kind of counting on there to be some tanks in the city, as there are usually, in most situations, there are 2 to 3 tanks over here, as we've seen on last game. And if Immo was able to push the city and quickly kill those 2, they would have had a nice advantage. That was not happening, so Immo is at a great advantage from the start on, just by not having any counter to their strategy and taking quick control of the A cap, and also taking better control of the map here. They are having much better positions. Big shot into the side of reaction, 542. There must have been the FE215B with some HE. Apparently he can also put a gun through the rails here. Yes, he is just climbing carefully. Reaction got shot again from someone else over there. But on the other side here in the desert, it is possible to take some slightly better positions with these hills that allow you to elevate the tank a bit more to shoot into the city. Also, of course, we cannot forget about the difference in terms of caps that we have already in favor of Immo. But API is playing a heavier lineup, is having about 2k hit points more on the field. That's about 1 tank. So the question is, if Immo is able to secure their caps, and if they are able to hold base B forever. Oh, Crim overcommitting, losing a lot of hit points there. That's another 1k hit points down on Immo's side. So suddenly, on API's side, suddenly API's hit point advantage isn't all that big anymore. That's going to be very annoying when it comes to the situation where API actually has to push in. Crim is falling back into safety, as he should be. And API is seemingly preparing for a push, but I don't think that's going to work out here. No, they're not really about to push in just yet. They are sending in some tanks towards their own spawn, but they are not succeeding at pushing. They're not going to get anything from that, as they have to somehow stop base A and kill some tanks. But those two, they can just spot very carefully and run away. The E50M, Oleg, sitting in a bush, unspotted. can collect a lot of information. They have Flexorcist having a strong tank to hold and will not be easy to kill, but there is an E50M again overcommitting a little bit. And it is API getting aggressive right now with the AMXM force to the center. But there comes a simultaneous push on the other side here, losing a lot of hit points though. API still ahead on the HP for the moment, but not by a big margin anymore. And they are going in here. They have found one isolated E50M that they can potentially kill. The Uni is actually maybe able to reload on time. E50M getting killed still. Almost made it around the corner. Immo getting shot into pieces here. But at the same time, Immo is pushing forwards into the city. They are going for Crim and also are about to take base C still, and maybe also are about to take base B for free. That could be possible. Crim has been taken out. A and C on side of API. B has been reset. That's crucial. C can be stopped right now. But Immo will have to do more than that. They have to get some kills. And they are still having the hit point lead. Gun needs to API though. Over there, we've got a one-shot. Okay, API is going to lose a gun advantage as Flexorcist is taking out ASDF. So 4 versus 4. Cap points in favor of API, and Elmery is coming in with a sneaky push into the back of Rhymes Like Dimes here. Nice kill shots there. 995 points. API is about to win this on the point still. No way that API still gets this. Immo just abandoning the cap a bit too much. And that is API bringing it to the tiebreaker. 3-3. That is freaking close here. Each game, each team winning a point once the enemy won. That's really good to see such close battles. Well-timed push from API, pushing both sides or two sides simultaneously, the center and the spawn. So they were still relatively close together, and they could actually build up some nice crossfire there on the E50Ms. Immo seemed to be a little bit lost there. I've not entirely paid attention to where they have been, but they were pushing the city. As far as I've seen later on, they were pushing the city, giving away the advantage of the desert to API then. And maybe that was just not that great, not coordinated enough. Looks like Immo was actually having a good lead there in terms of positioning and also in terms of caps. Just needed to hold better. I mean, generally, I'm actually a fan of teams pushing in even at a disadvantage. But this push wasn't quite it. Three to 3 now. Let me just adjust the scores. This will be the very last match for today. Triple FE215B. By the way, it's Faust, new map here. Faust is always a great map for tiebreakers because it's a bit more complicated than other maps, since it does have 4 caps instead of the standard 3. A lot of options here for this map in terms of tactics, in terms of pushes. A lot of creativity is being asked for from the teams, especially from the leaders, the callers, who are coming up with the strategies and who are having to adjust teams' positions on the fly. APA going towards the D-cap. By the way, APA starting with a lot more hit points, 18.6k versus 17.2k. Immo is playing some E50Ms. Also losing a few hit points here. They are taking A and C simultaneously though, so it will be a nice, comfortable cap lead to the team of Immo from the start on. And APA will have to come up with a plan to come back from this. Reaction. Still sitting on A, won't be staying there anymore. The E50Ms are probably asking themselves whether they should hold this corner or whether they should even get more aggressive to collect more information, build up some more crossfire, or if they should go back and help their teammates, as there is a push to be expected from API onto the heavy side. API now in a B cap in the middle of the map here. That's not going to grant them any advantage yet, but they can still drop into the C cap, which is hard to defend here. Also, API is aggressing, taking the advantage of the corner with Playmaker over here on the FE215B, having great overview of this flank. It would be fairly easy for example, ASDF to move over here into the C cap without Immo being able to do anything about it. The ASDF is moving towards the medium side, being proxy spotted from above though. But he is going forwards, he is going for reaction. Who is prepared though? Is there more? Yes, API is sending the push here. Double FE215B is with a speed boost going in. Reaction might be in trouble. He is isolated also, that's what she said. Is not in a great position, cannot actually hide there anymore if the FVs are moving in. The E50M is pulling off the reactive armor, but that's not going to help against the HEs here. 1k hit points lost, big damage taken. E50M trying to escape. Putting it a nice shot into Uni. Reaction also managed to escape there, magically. Good push by API, but also Immo not sleeping, and Immo is counter-pushing the other side at the same time. Where they are having a bit of an advantage, but not by a big margin. Komorium here losing a lot of hit points. Komorium shooting Playmaker. Komorium also about to go down. Bobby Fischer taking out Komorium. But also down to one shot. Gun advantage. No, guns even actually. On the other side, we still have the E50M alive. At least one of them. No, two of them are still alive there actually. None of them has been taken out, despite them being so low on hit points, but now the first one's going down. And also the Chieftain and the E50M here are just not going to last much longer. That's for sure, but the E50M might actually be able to run a race still supporting with a shot on the other side. And in the best case, E50M can keep running even further before the others are approaching him. E50M taking a big one from behind there. Still down to one shot, still helping with Elmarie. That's great here. Immo 2 versus 4 right now. Okay, this is not looking good for Immo. I thought they were in a good situation, but Immo's counter push over here did fail. Suddenly, it is a 1 versus 3 situation. API also able to just step their foot into base C. Not that it would really matter, but Object 3 just playing a safe game here. But API, of course, being in a 1 versus or 3 versus 1 situation, can basically not lose this game anymore. And that is the cap win for API. Great job here. Immo's counter push on the heavy side was just not coming fast enough. Also, the Chieftain that Immo sent over to the medium side was not particularly helpful. They were able to hold up the tanks on the medium side there, but it was just not really allowing them to win the game, as they were just buying some time, but not using any advantage there. Still, the Chieftain farmed 4k. The E50Ms, well, they still did something useful, honestly. 3k also on, that's what she said. Reaction 1.3k. That is fine for sure. Cannot always do much damage. But somehow, Immo just failed their push on the heavy side. They had an advantage of 1 tank only on the heavy side. That's not a huge difference. But they were not really able to capitalize on that. They should have been able to find an opportunity for pushing in a smart way. Maybe focus fire lagged. I don't know what happened there, to be honest. would have to go back and analyze that in depth, which I'm not going to do right now, as I am not trying to point fingers here. Let me actually see the tournament results. Very nice games there. So we've got... I should just go for the website, honestly. So Aqua currently on first place, APA second, Demon third, B-Love, Bedbug fourth, QQ on the last spot. The former participants of the grand finals haven't won a single game yet. But I don't know if the last one's even finished here for them. Yes, they did finish. Oh my gosh. I think QQ is basically not having any chances for reaching the top 4 anymore. Wait. Chart. Yep. Immo 1 point. They did a great job today though, despite only having 1 point. RDX 1 point. Also played well. And they won against QQ. Laugh 0 wins. Okay, that's quite a big gap here. But to be honest, it's still possible for everyone. I mean, we are down the road 4 games or 4 rounds of 7. So 3 more points are still possible to get. And, you know, if 2 teams have the same amount of points in the very end, then it means that it matters what result there was if 2 teams met each other. Let's say let's say QQ still wins 3 games now, APA doesn't win any games anymore. Then we would have a tie on the score, 3-3. And APA won against QQ they won against them today. So it would matter that APA won against QQ. They would be ahead on the points then. So if that was deciding about top 4, yeah. QQ can still make top 4 if they are winning back-to-back, basically. I mean, B-Love, Immo. B-Love is still in top 4, so QQ still has to beat B-Love. Problem there is, for QQ, that they were losing against B-Love. So if B-Love only wins 1 more game, then B-Love is not going to be ditched from the top 4 by QQ anymore. APA won against QQ, and if APA won everything, lost everything, QQ won everything, QQ would not be able to make top 4 anymore. Demon is still going to face QQ as far as I know. So if... I mean, that's so unlikely. If QQ wins everything, Demon loses everything, and then QQ could still kick them from the top 4, but that is really, really unlikely. I think QQ just messed up. I mean, I'm just paying a bit more attention to QQ because there the chances were higher of ranking at top or getting into the top 4 as they made grand finals twice. I think that is fair to say. Okay, I see a lot of people watching right now. If you do enjoy the stream, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new still, and if you really want to support the channel, I mean, you can donate. You can also, just the best thing to do actually to give me some planability here is if you are joining as a member on the Discord, not on the Discord, as a member on YouTube or even on Ko-Fi. The link is often posted in the chat there. Ko-Fi is just not taking any fees there, unlike YouTube, which takes 30-40%. So yeah, that would be highly appreciated if you did. Don't feel pressure to do so though. Just if you want to see more of that kind of content. I will still take a quick look at the results here And that will actually be it for today, because we're having streams every day for this week, so I'm not going to go for any long streams here. Also, I still have to create a very last giveaway today. Again, on the Discord server, this giveaway will be for the fan containers. I'll just go for 15 minutes. Giveaway there. 4 times fan container. And again, make sure to use your in-game name as a server nickname, just so we can avoid multiple entries there. Now for our last look onto... Wait. Professionals tournament, there we are. Now for a last look onto the other results there, just so we can see what's going on. Okay. So 2 games have been yesterday. What? Okay, 2 games have been yesterday already, 2 rounds. Today we've had QQ API on our stream here. Bila versus Aqua was a win to Aqua. Immo won against RDX. Demon won against Slav. No real surprises there. Then RDX against Slav. Close games here, 4-3. Demon, Bila, 4-2. Apparently also rather close, but also not unexpected. Demon has been very strong. Bila has been lacking a little bit in last seasons, although they also have 3 wins of great tournaments on their back already. Then there is API 4-3 against Immo, which we've seen here. QQ lost 2-4 against Aqua. Okay. Yeah, QQ really underperforming here, honestly. That's standing out to me. I mean, for Immo and Lav, just as RDX, it can kind of be expected that they are not getting a lot of points in the top 8 because they are rather inexperienced on the top 8 level. Some of them have played in the top 8 already on lower levels. Some of them have played in top 16 only so far. I think there are very few players, if any at all, who have top 4 experience on their teams. Blav, on the other hand, again, they have won 3 seasons already. Did not play that well in the last ones. APA has won 4 seasons already. Also didn't play that well in the last ones, or did not get that far. Demon has been playing only 2 seasons, but they have made it into the top 4. And only 1 season before this one. They made it into the top 4 in the first season. Mostly PC team. Has some of the best random players in the game. Super strong players in there. Then there is Aqua, which did play, or which did win last season. And Aqua also just had, I mean, they have a long history of tournaments. They had some ups and downs, but they had a really good time. In case you're interested in hearing more about Aqua and how they are actually just playing, what they are doing, I interviewed Zerd, their team leader. You can find that video. It's about a 1 hour long podcast, basically, on my content on my channel as well. So I highly recommend watching that if you have some deeper interest in the tournament meta and the mindset of the players or the callers. Zerd, also one of the oldest, not the oldest, but one of the most experienced players in the game, has been around for basically since forever. Okay, guys, I will end here, as there's nothing else to show today, and I'm not going for a long random session today either. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Again, press the like button if you haven't yet. See you guys tomorrow again with the very next stream. And have a good evening, have a good day, whatever time zone you are in. Have a good night. Goodbye.